Anand sat under the shade of a Bodhi tree. His heart racing with anxiety about the uncertain future ahead, he approached the Buddha, his voice trembling with fear, seeking comfort and wisdom for the overwhelming thoughts consuming his mind. "Master, I am tormented by visions of myself failing in years to come," Anand said, tears filling his eyes. "I fear I will not meet the expectations of this path or find fulfillment in my journey," he added. "Blessed One," he began, his voice trembling with uncertainty, "I am overwhelmed by desires and responsibilities. My mind is restless, unable to focus or find peace. Fear of the future is like chasing shadows, elusive and without substance, yet powerful enough to bind your heart in knots. To understand this, let me share a story with you, one that mirrors your suffering," the Buddha continued calmly. The disciples gathered around, intrigued by the Buddha's voice. As the forest grew silent and anticipation filled the air, there was once a man traveling through a dense jungle, surrounded by towering trees and the whispers of unseen dangers, the Buddha began. Suddenly, a ferocious tiger began chasing him, its growls echoing through the jungle and striking fear deep into his soul. Running desperately, the man stumbled upon a steep cliff, where his choices narrowed to escape or face certain doom. Clinging to a vine dangling from the cliff's edge, he found himself suspended between the hungry tiger above and below. To his dismay, two mice, a white one and a black one, began gnawing at the vine, threatening to sever his lifeline. As his desperation grew, his gaze fell upon a strawberry growing nearby, its red hue bright amidst the chaos around him. Despite the peril encasing him, the man plucked the strawberry and tasted its sweetness. Savoring a moment of pure delight, the Buddha paused, letting the weight of his words settle among the disciples. As Anand's furrowed brow betrayed his confusion, "Master, how could this man enjoy the strawberry when danger surrounded him on all sides?" Anand asked hesitantly. The Buddha met Anand's eyes with a gentle smile and said, "The man lived in the present moment. Anand, he did not waste his fleeting time worrying about inevitable tigers but chose to experience the gift of now fully. To dwell endlessly on the uncertainties ahead is to miss the beauty and opportunities of the present," the Buddha emphasized. "Anand, life is like that vine, fragile and impermanent, yet full of moments waiting to be cherished," the Buddha said. "Fear about the future binds the heart and clouds the mind, leaving one blind to the sweetness of the present." Anand listened intently, the Buddha's words beginning to untangle the knots of fear twisting in his mind like vines. The disciples nodded thoughtfully, pondering the significance of the story and its lessons on living unburdened by fear. The Buddha continued, his voice carrying wisdom with every word, weaving light into the shadows of Anand's troubled thoughts. The man understood that his fate was uncertain, yet he chose to focus on what he could grasp, the Buddha explained. Though the vine frayed, he found liberation in letting go of what he could not control and accepting impermanence. Likewise, Anand, do not hold tightly to imagined outcomes, for they lead only to suffering and constriction of the soul. Release the grip of your fears and allow your spirit to flow freely with life as it unfolds moment by moment. Anand reflected on the Buddha's words, recognizing the futility of his preoccupation with what had yet to transpire. The forest, once filled with Anand's racing heartbeats and troubled sighs, now felt tranquil as the teachings sank deep within him. "Master, how do I overcome these thoughts that persistently pull me away from the present moment?" Anand asked with humility. "To live in the present, you must cultivate mindfulness." "Anand," the Buddha replied, his gaze steady and full of compassion. "Mindfulness anchors your wandering thoughts, gently guiding you back to the present when your mind strays to the past or future. Begin with your breath, for it is a tether to now. rising and falling like the rhythm of life itself. When your thoughts drift toward fear of tomorrow, bring your awareness back to the breath, allowing its stillness to calm you. By practicing mindfulness, you can train your mind to reside in the present and find peace amidst life's uncertainties, the Buddha said. Anand, inspired by the Buddha's guidance, vowed to nurture his mindfulness and let go of the chains of future fears. Under the Bodhi tree, Anand joined the Buddha and disciples in meditation, focusing on the breath and its soothing cadence. With each inhale, Anand felt a newfound serenity, and with every exhale, he released fragments of fear that once consumed him. The Buddha's teachings resonated deeply, a light that illuminated Anand's path toward living fully in the present without judgment or fear. Anand's heart grew lighter, and his mind began to steady, the teachings allowing him to see clearly the gift of now. The disciples observed Anand's transformation and felt inspired to embrace mindfulness, realizing the power of presence in enriching their spiritual journey. The Buddha, ever patient and compassionate, watched Anand's progress with gentle pride and continued guiding his disciples with unwavering wisdom. In the silence of the forest, Anand's spirit began to bloom like a lotus, unfurling toward the light of inner peace. Through the Buddha's teachings, Anand learned the profound importance of living in the present moment and cherishing its fleeting beauty. The lesson echoed among the disciples, the Buddha's wisdom spreading like ripples on a pond, transforming their understanding of life's impermanence. Under the vast sky and towering Bodhi trees, Anand found peace, knowing that the present was all he ever truly needed. Another day, Anand walked alongside the Buddha through the village, seeking alms and reflecting deeply on the previous teachings. The sun bathed the world in its golden glow, as life bustled around them, filled with merchants, farmers, and craftsmen. A wealthy merchant paced anxiously before his mansion, his troubled expression capturing the Buddha's attention amid the crowd of villagers. The disciples listened intently, the grove enveloped in a profound silence. Sattva closed his eyes, breathing deeply, as the Buddha's words resonated within his heart. The merchant sighed and replied, "I am consumed by the fear of losing my wealth, which is the foundation of my life. I think constantly of how I can secure my future. Yet dread fills my days despite my abundant riches," he confessed. The Buddha gestured for the merchant to sit beneath a nearby tree, inviting him to listen closely to the wisdom offered. "Let me share a parable that may provide clarity to the worries that cloud your mind," the Buddha said. There was once a farmer who loved his fields more than anything and believed he could control the elements surrounding them. The farmer worried endlessly about the rain, the sun, and the wind, convinced their alignment could ensure his crop's prosperity. He prayed fervently for rain one year, and the fields flooded, leaving him devastated by the destruction of his efforts. He prayed for sun the next year, and the crops withered under its unforgiving heat, compounding his frustration and grief. Year after year, the farmer labored for control, unable to escape his misery, until one day he decided to surrender. Once he accepted the nature of the seasons and relinquished his desperate need for control, peace blossomed within his heart. The merchant listened intently, his furrowed brow softening as the parable unfolded, its truth resonating deeply with his own plight. "Are you saying that I should surrender my ambitions and resign myself to fate?" the merchant asked hesitantly. The Buddha responded calmly, "Not surrender ambition, but release the illusion of control, which binds your happiness to an unyielding future. Life's uncertainty is as natural as the changing seasons, and to resist it is to wrestle endlessly with shadows," the Buddha explained. "To anchor your joy to a future beyond your command is to build a house on shifting sands," the Buddha added. The disciples, including Anand, listened closely, absorbing the meaning woven into every word. reflecting on their own struggles with control. The merchant nodded slowly, his tense shoulders relaxing as the wisdom began loosening the grip of fear surrounding his heart. What can I do to free myself from the unrelenting dread of the unknown future? The merchant asked sincerely. The Buddha replied, to find peace. Embrace the present moment and the truth that life's impermanence is both inevitable and liberating. Practice mindfulness to anchor your spirit here and now, rather than letting your thoughts drift aimlessly to unseen tomorrows, the Buddha said. Anand watched the merchant's transformation, his heart swelling with gratitude for the opportunity to witness the profound power of mindfulness. The merchant stood and bowed deeply to the Buddha, his face radiant with newfound understanding and a sense of liberation. The Buddha and disciples continued their journey, the village hum of life blending harmoniously with the teachings shared among them. Anand approached the Buddha with curiosity, seeking deeper insight into the illusion of control and its pervasive hold on human hearts. Master, why is it so difficult for us to let go of our desire to control our lives? Anand asked thoughtfully. The Buddha replied, control provides a false sense of security, tempting us to believe we can shield ourselves from impermanence's truths. But this illusion is fragile and fleeting, leaving us vulnerable when life's natural uncertainty unfolds despite our efforts, the Buddha explained. Like the farmer, we hold tightly to the reins of control, only to discover they cannot steer the course of life. To release this illusion is to open ourselves to life's flow, finding strength in acceptance rather than resistance, the Buddha said. Anand reflected on the Buddha's words, recognizing his own fears and ambitions rooted in the unyielding pursuit of certainty and control. Master, how can we balance ambition with acceptance, striving for goals without being ensnared by fear of failure? Anand asked. The Buddha replied, ambition is not the enemy, Anand, but attachment to its outcomes blinds us to life's beauty unfolding now. Strive with mindful intentions, knowing that the future cannot be assured, and embrace the present's gifts regardless of what transpires, the Buddha said. The disciples pondered the guidance, realizing their own struggles with balancing desire and acceptance within the realm of their spiritual journeys. Anand felt a lightness in his heart, as if the Buddha's teachings were unraveling the knots that once weighed him down. Under the setting sun, the group paused to meditate, their breath anchoring them to the present and steadying their wandering minds. The Buddha guided them with his wisdom, teaching them to release their grip on outcomes and find peace within the unfolding moment. Anand breathed deeply, sensing the stillness of the forest and the vibrant energy of life surrounding him without judgment or fear. Through the meditation, he experienced a sense of connection to the present and found liberation in its boundless, fleeting beauty. The merchant, who had followed the group, sat quietly nearby, observing the disciples and embracing his own journey of mindfulness. As night fell, the Buddha spoke softly, his voice carrying serenity and hope to the disciples gathered in silence around him. Control and fear are born of attachment, but freedom arises when we accept impermanence and live fully in the present moment. To embrace impermanence is to dance with life's uncertainty, finding joy in the movement without clinging to its steps, the Buddha said. The disciples, including Anand and the merchant, felt inspired to cultivate mindfulness and embrace the wisdom shared by their compassionate teacher. Under the vast expanse of stars, Anand reflected on the Buddha's teachings, his heart filled with gratitude and clarity for the path ahead. Each breath carried him closer to the present, where the shadows of fear dissipated like mist under the morning sun. The forest buzzed with life, the world shifting gently with each passing moment, and Anand felt connected to its vibrant pulse. The Buddha's wisdom illuminated the path, guiding his disciples to navigate life's impermanence with mindfulness and unwavering inner peace. Anand bowed deeply to the Buddha, thankful for the wisdom shared and determined to live fully in the gift of now. The journey through the village had transformed Anand's perspective, leaving him inspired to cultivate mindfulness and anchor himself to the present. The disciples, one by one, began to embrace the teachings, finding their own paths to freedom through the wisdom of impermanence. Under the Bodhi tree in the infinite sky, the Buddha continued to guide his followers with compassion and timeless understanding. Anand's heart felt lighter than ever before, his fears dissolving into the forest air as he embraced the beauty of now. Life unfolded around him like a tapestry, each thread shimmering with vibrancy, anchored deeply in the present and filled with promise. The Buddha's teachings resonated deeply, enriching the disciples' spiritual journeys and inspiring them to live with clarity, acceptance, and boundless peace. Another day, the disciples gathered beneath the Bodhi tree, seeking wisdom from the Buddha as the morning sun illuminated the forest. Anand sat quietly, his mind filled with questions about mindfulness and the practice of remaining anchored in the present moment. The Buddha observed his disciples with compassion, sensing their unspoken thoughts and the desire for deeper understanding of their spiritual journeys. Anand, what rests heavy upon your heart today? The Buddha asked, his voice gentle and inviting Anand to share his reflections. Master, I understand the importance of mindfulness, but I struggle to keep my mind from wandering to past regrets and future fears. How can I train myself to remain fully in the present moment, without being pulled away by restless thoughts? Anand asked. The Buddha nodded, recognizing Anand's earnest search for clarity, and prepared to share a story to illustrate his wisdom. Let me share a parable, Anand, that may guide you toward deeper mindfulness and the peace it brings to the soul. There was once a young painter, skilled and full of passion, who set out to create a masterpiece that embodied perfection. He imagined the praise he would receive and the fame his work might bring, consumed by thoughts of the future's rewards. Yet, as he worked tirelessly, his brush slipped, and a stroke landed outside his desired design, frustrating him immensely. Each time his mind wandered to past mistakes or future recognition, his painting became more chaotic and distant from his vision. Eventually, he realized that focusing solely on the present, his brush's movement, and the colors before him brought true artistry. When he let go of past errors and future expectations, his work flourished, capturing the beauty of the moment perfectly. The disciples listened intently, each imagining the painter's journey and reflecting on the parallels to their own struggles with mindfulness. Anand pondered the meaning of the parable, finding inspiration in the painter's realization about the power of present awareness. Master, how can I cultivate this focus and live in the present when distractions and fears seem so overwhelming? Anand asked. The Buddha replied, mindfulness requires practice and patience. Anand, begin by observing your breath, the simple rhythm that connects you to life. When your thoughts drift away, guide them gently back to the breath, acknowledging the distractions without judgment or resistance. Focus on the sensations of each inhale and exhale, grounding yourself in the present moment and the peace it offers. Like the painter, let go of attachment to perfection or outcomes, and immerse yourself fully in the task before you. Anand nodded, determined to dedicate himself to the practice of mindfulness and embrace the wisdom his teacher shared so generously. The disciples began their meditation, following the Buddha's guidance, and soon the forest was filled with serene stillness and focused energy. The Buddha's voice rose above the silence, imparting further wisdom to guide his disciples toward living fully in the present. The present is a gift, fleeting and precious, and to live in it is to honor life's impermanence with gratitude. The past is gone, unchangeable, and the future is uncertain. Yet the present moment is yours to experience fully, the Buddha said. When you accept this truth, fear and regret will lose their power over your spirit, leaving only peace and clarity. The disciples found solace in his words, their minds opening to the beauty of the moment and the freedom it provided. Anand felt his breath steady and his heart lighten, the practice of mindfulness nurturing his soul and calming his restless thoughts. The Buddha turned to the group, his voice filled with compassion and encouragement, urging them to embrace life's present gifts. To live mindfully is not to deny life's challenges but to face them with clarity and acceptance. Anchored in the present, by embracing mindfulness, you discover strength within yourself and peace amidst life's uncertainties, the Buddha said. His words resonating deeply, Anand reflected on his previous fears about the future, recognizing their roots in attachment to expectations and resistance to impermanence. The disciples, united in their practice, breathed deeply together, their hearts opening to the beauty of the moment shared among them. The forest seemed to vibrate with life, each sound and sensation magnified as the disciples embraced the stillness of mindfulness. As the meditation concluded, Anand approached the Buddha, seeking further guidance on integrating mindfulness into daily life and spiritual growth. Master, how can we maintain mindfulness beyond meditation, when the distractions of the world pull us away from the present? Anand asked. The Buddha replied, mindfulness is not limited to meditation. It is a way of living, a practice to carry into every moment. Be present with your actions, your thoughts, and your interactions, grounding yourself in awareness of the here and now. Let mindfulness guide you as you walk, as you eat, and as you speak, turning ordinary moments into profound experiences. Anand listened with awe, inspired by the Buddha's wisdom and determined to embrace mindfulness in every aspect of his life. The disciples joined Anand in their resolve, recognizing the transformative power of mindfulness and its ability to enrich their spiritual journeys. The forest seemed to hum with harmony, reflecting the disciples' newfound clarity and connection to the present moment. As the day ended, the Buddha spoke softly to his disciples, his voice filled with warmth and unwavering compassion. Mindfulness is a journey, not a destination. With each step, you deepen your understanding and expand your capacity for peace. To live in the present is to embrace life's impermanence with courage and gratitude. Finding beauty in the fleeting moments, the disciples bowed deeply to the Buddha, their hearts filled with gratitude for his teachings and the wisdom he so generously shared. Anand felt a profound sense of connection to the present, his fears fading like mist and his spirit blooming toward inner peace. The Buddha watched over his disciples, knowing their practice would bring them closer to understanding life's truth and the gift of mindfulness. Under the vast sky and the shade of the Bodhi tree, the disciples meditated once more, their hearts anchored to the present. The forest, alive with its subtle hum, embraced the group, its vibrant energy mirroring their dedication to living mindfully and fully. Through the Buddha's teachings, Anand discovered the power of mindfulness to transform his life and illuminate the path to peace. The disciples carried the wisdom forward, spreading its light and embracing the beauty of the present in their own journeys. The Buddha continued to guide them with compassion, his teachings nurturing their souls and strengthening their resolve to live fully in the moment. The disciples, united in their practice, found solace in the gift of now and inspiration in the timeless wisdom of their teacher. As the stars sparkled in the night sky, Anand reflected on his journey and felt gratitude for the transformation mindfulness had brought. The Buddha's teachings resonated deeply, empowering Anand to live without fear and to cherish the fleeting moments that made life beautiful. Blessed One, Anand asked, how does one remain steadfast when doubt arises, tempting the heart to retreat from life's uncertainties? Buddha smiled, his gaze steady and nurturing, as he offered a story to illustrate the path forward. Once, a traveler embarked on a long journey, uncertain of his destination but guided by the star's subtle light. Buddha began. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.